Hello, it's Vicar Ezekiel Grabow for our 11th day of Advent and our 11th day of the Jesse tree. For the past few days, we have been talking about how God sent Moses to bring the children of Israel, God's people, out of the land of Egypt. But we haven't come to the other part of God's promise, that God would bring his people into the land of Canaan, to the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Well, we mentioned last time that the people of Israel spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness because they refused to listen to God. And so, after 40 years, all the people who had been the parents and the older people in the people of Israel had died off, and that included Moses. But a new leader was chosen for the people of Israel to enter into the land of Canaan. His name was Joshua. And Joshua was told by God to be strong and courageous, and to lead his people in battle against the Canaanites. But God also told Joshua that they would not fight alone, that God himself would go before them and fight for them. And that would be demonstrated in their very first battle, their battle against Jericho. You might know about Jericho. There's a really wonderful song that we sing sometimes about the Battle of Jericho. Well, the story of the Battle of Jericho actually begins long before the people get to it. You see, they sent 2 spies to see what the city of Jericho was like. And those 2 spies were protected by a woman who lived in Jericho. Her name was Rahab. And Rahab protected the messengers from detection, from being found out by the guards of the city. But she made the messengers promise that she and her family would be spared in the coming battle. Rahab's going to be important, but we'll talk more about her a little later on. Once the people of Israel had gotten ready for battle, the commander of the Lord's army appeared to Joshua. And the commander of the Lord's army is God himself. So God told Joshua what the battle plan was. The priests, the Levites, and all the people were to march around the city 6 days, one time around the city for 6 days. And on the 7th day, they were to march around the city 7 times. And after they had marched around the city 7 times, they were to blow their trumpets and shout. Which is why today's symbol is a trumpet. This is from Joshua chapter 6. On the 7th day, they rose early, at the dawn of the day, and marched around the city in the same manner 7 times. It was only on that day that they marched around the city 7 times. And at the 7th time, when the priests had blown the trumpets, Joshua said to the people, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city, and the city and all that is within it shall be devoted to the Lord for destruction. Only Rahab and all who are with her in her house shall live, because she hid the messengers whom we sent. But you, keep yourselves from the things devoted to destruction, lest when you have devoted them, you take any of the devoted things, and make the camp of Israel a thing for destruction, and bring trouble upon it. But all silver and gold, and every vessel of bronze and iron, are holy to the Lord. They shall go into the treasury of the Lord." So the people shouted, and the trumpets were blown. As soon as the people heard the sound of the trumpet, the people shouted a great shout, and the wall fell down flat. So that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they captured the city. It's a very strange battle plan that the commander of the Lord's army gave to Joshua. It doesn't seem like marching around a city and shouting and blowing on trumpets would bring down the walls. But that was because it really wasn't the people who brought down the walls at all. It was God who fought for them and went before them. God wanted them to take the city this way to show them that it wasn't by their own strength that they would take the promised land, but by God's strength. And I remember now that I mentioned to you that Rahab was important, right? Well, Rahab was rescued and became a part of the people. And she's very important because Rahab would be one of the women in the line of Jesus. So the people of Israel, God's chosen people, would not include just the literal children of Israel, but all people, all those who would be grafted in. And so Rahab is a sign that we too belong to the people of Israel and to the Church of Jesus Christ. We'll talk more next time.